We've seen the hype train of the Washington Commanders. We've seen people hype up the Washington Commanders week after week. They're the real deal. They're winning the NFC East. They're doing this. They're doing that. I'm like, ah! And I finally, was it 2 weeks ago? I was like, you know what? I believe in the Commanders. I'm starting to buy the hype of the Commanders. I'm starting to realize, like, hey, yeah, they haven't played nobody, but they did battle the Ravens, and they come out and they beat the Panthers and the Bears in a Hail Mary. I'm like, hey, okay, I'm buying them. But since then, since I bought the hype train of this Washington Commanders team, since I've, like, okay, I have faith in y'all, they're on a 2-game losing streak. Not only are they on a 2-game losing streak, they've blown 2 second-half leads. 10 points to the Steelers, and then 7 points to the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, the question is, are we done buying this hype around the Commanders? Are we done trying to say, oh, they're the East, they're the champions, or stop it? Are we done buying it? That's the real question. When we look at the Washington Commanders, guys, they do drop to 7-4 on the season with the loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. And just like Carson brought up, right? The big buzzword around the Commanders is they have not played nobody yet. They haven't played nobody yet, right? Let's rephrase it. They haven't beaten anybody yet. They have yet to beat a playoff-bound team. They have wins over the Giants. They have wins over the Bengals, the Browns, the Panthers, the Bears, and the Giants. Oh, wow, baby. Nothing to write home about. And the only reason why they beat the Giants was because the Giants didn't have a field goal kicker in that particular game. Let's just be honest. And it's not like they haven't played anybody yet, right? They played a couple playoff-bound teams. They played the Buccaneers. Oh, by the way, they lost to the Bucs. Oh, but they played the Ravens. They lost to the Ravens. But they played the Eagles. Oh, they lost to the Steelers. But they lost to the Eagles too. Their 4 losses are to playoff teams. And they're not even just losing. They're giving away the games, right? They're giving away those second half games. They're giving away the leads, like in games that they really should not win, or they should have won, right? And when we flash back to the Eagles game just last night, let's look at the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, it was 12-10. It was like 8 some odd minutes left in the game, right? It was 4th and 1. They had a chance to take the lead with the field goal. What did they do? Mr. Dan Quinn's like, let's go for it on 4th down, baby. Yeah, let's go. What happens? Negative play, sacked, turnover, bada bing, bada boom. Saquon Barkley scores 2 touchdowns in like 20 seconds. Now, that 4th down play changed the whole outcome of the game. Let's just be flat out honest. We saw the momentum of the Commanders deflate. Very next play, Saquon Barkley to the house. Watch the Commanders get the ball back. Boom, bada bing, 19-10. Interception by Reed Blankenship. The next play or two plays later, bada bing, bada boom, Saquon Barkley to the house. I understand the stats are out there. The Washington Commanders are 12-14 on 4th down this season. And the facts are is when you have a chance to extend the drive, they've done it 12 times so far this season, and it is demoralizing to a defense. I get it, right? But per NFL analytics, on top of that, when a team has a successful 4th down play, they score 51% of the time. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense to go for it, but at the end of the day, you have to know your situations. Look beyond the analytics. Stop being Mr. Risk Taker himself. Now, the Commanders, guys, do play 3 very winnable games the next 3 weeks. Then they play the rematch versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And then they play the Falcons and the Cowboys to end the season. The storyline going into the playoffs is still they have not played anybody yet. But I am done buying the hype around the Washington Commanders. I am done buying their hype. They have yet to beat a good team. I mean, they've beaten the Cardinals, but are the Cardinals going to make the playoffs? Probably not. They have yet to beat a playoff team, and they only have 2 games left versus playoff teams for the rest of the season. Dan Quinn, risky play calling, like on that 4th down call, is going to cost the Commanders this season, just like Dan Campbell's risk-taking cost the Detroit Lions Super Bowl chances last season. Guys, I am done with the Washington Commanders hype train. I am done. They're not very. They are good. They are built to win now. But Dan Quinn is going to be the ultimate failure for them. Age is going to catch up to them, and they're not going to be battle tested when it comes to the playoffs. So, guys, let me ask this question. Are we done buying the hype around the Washington Commanders? Are we done saying the Washington Commanders are them, right? John says Washington isn't done, and they're going to win the East. John, I'm sorry. When the Washington Commanders go on a 3-game losing streak, when the Washington Commanders go to AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, and they lose on Thanksgiving Day to the Dallas Cowboys, making that a 3-game losing streak, I want you to screenshot this. Screenshot this, John, right now. Boop, boop. Do it. When they go on a 3-game losing streak and they lose to the Cowboys, are they still going to win the East? Absolutely not. They have 3 giving games versus the Cowboys, Titans, and Saints coming up. When they drop one of those games, like, told you so. When they get humiliated by the Eagles at home on December 22nd, like, I told you so. When they get beat by the Falcons, was it Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve? Told you so. The shoe has dropped in Washington. Jaden Daniels has hit that rookie wall. Dan Quinn is gone like, risk it, no biscuit. You're going to get no biscuit because you've been risking it. Let's just be honest. John says the Eagles will be the wild card to play either Minnesota or Tampa Bay. And, John, this is where you get mixed up, man. This is where you get mixed up because if the Philadelphia Eagles are a wild card team, that means they'll be a 5th, 6th, or 7th seed team. By saying they'll play Minnesota in the wild card is implying that the Minnesota Vikings will get a divisional crown. That's not going to happen. Sorry, Vikings fans. I like y'all, but you are not winning the NFC North. Not going to happen. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have an opportunity to win the NFC South still. Very, very long shot, but still an opportunity. So that would be a 4-5 seed. That could be a potential game. Tampa Bay versus Eagles yet again. So it is what it is. Like, I can see it, but not going to happen. Ronnie Lester's in the chat. What's up, Ronnie? He says they all better get the Chiefs now because come December, they will have a full squad ready to go. Who are you talking about, the Buffalo Bills? Curious. Jim says, I think they still got a few rounds further than Paul goes. I haven't really cared about the Skins since the Riggins fans me over in my grandma's living room. And there's no reason to root for the Redskins now either, Jim. Because they're not even going to make the playoffs like at this rate. Let's just be honest. 2-game losing streak right now, potentially 3, losing to the Cowboys. The wheels will fall off the wagon at some point. It's happening now. It's happening now. John says, all the shit we hear about Vegas, I hope Dallas is dead last. You better hope Dallas is dead last because it's the only way they have a chance to win. Laura says, seems like 4th down failures have happened a lot this season because people are trusting this analytic bullshit. Laura. See, there's this thing in the world where like analytics tell us what to do. Analytics is this, analytics is that. The analytics tell me that I should turn left instead of right because I can save 36 seconds going this way. Well, shut up. You know how hard it is to drive over 4 lanes of traffic and turn left when I can just turn right, go down the stoplight, make a U-E and go? Sometimes you have to trust your gut, and that is what NFL coaches are starting to forget. Like, hey, there was a time pre-analytics. There was a time pre-like, hey, what do you say up there, man in the sky? Trust the freaking gut. And trust your situation. The situation in Washington was 2nd down, 0 yardage. 3rd down play was an incomplete pass. And then you go for it on 4th down. It was 12-10. Literally missing it 4th down when you're down 12-10. When the Eagles defense is playing stellar, right? Their offense at the time was still kind of struggling, right? They did find the end zone, but they were struggling. Let's just be honest. Field goal kicker at that point already missed 2 field goals. And then a PAT, 7 points left on the floor. So you're already already playing with house money as is. Take the freaking points. Trust your freaking gut. Trust your freaking gut. Carson says the only team the Cowboys have beaten right now are the Little Giants. And they're going to beat the Commanders come Thanksgiving Day, baby. I'll be back in Kansas, watching it with the Pops, getting my Micah Person jerseys on. Commanders going down. Lord, Dallas isn't going to win? They is going to win, baby. Because Dallas Cowboys can't even tank right. Can't even tank right. And John says, shave your beard over it? We'll have a beard bet. Sure, whatever. What are you going to shave? I mean, because you're already bald and you don't have a beard. Laura says, lay off the beat spikes, but they're not very good. I want to see your baby face. My baby face makes me look older because it's all got the wrinkles and scars and stuff from like years of abuse. Carson says, Commanders might not be them this year, but let's see what happens next year. Yeah, let's see what happens when the whole defense retires because they're over 35 years of age. Now, I see what you're saying, Carson. They got 9 draft picks. They got $125 million in cap space, yada, yada, yada. They also got Dan Quinn as the head coach. Let's just be honest. They got Dan Quinn as the head coach. Maybe he's turned over a new leaf. Maybe doing this has helped his confidence. Maybe wearing the backwards hat on the sidelines like, hey, yeah, baby, let's go. Simple fact of the matter is it's still the Washington Commanders. I know, new ownership, new general manager, new coach, new culture, 9 draft picks, $125 million. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But, guys, are we done buying the hype train of the Washington Commanders? Are we done buying it? Truth be told, I am. Jumping off that wagon. I was on it for a little bit.